Welcome everyone to episode 197 of the Trust the Plan podcast. I'm Nick.
And I'm Jim.
And today we're talking about the two reasons why some people, not me, two reasons why some people are skipping out on homeowners insurance.
Skipping homeowners insurance, huh?
Yep.
Wow.
This is Wall Street Journal last week. All right. They are saying that there's two types of people that would do this. Number one, they simply cannot afford the premium as it has continued to increase.
Okay.
So if the house burns down, then you're homeless and
yeah,
there's no money.
I mean, I get that costs have gone up. We've seen costs go up across the board. Insurance has not been excluded from that. But typically, in my mind, the value, you're insuring an expensive asset, and the cost to insure it is a fraction compared to what that actual asset is worth. It seems like a big risk to take.
Yeah, if you have obviously the person who can't afford it, they're not going to live in $1 million house, but like $1 million house, the insurance is like $1,000 or $2,000. Right. I'm not talking about hurricane, corridors, but like in Michigan, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you have like, $100,000 house, it might be $800. I don't know.
Right.
But I mean, $800 on a $100,000 asset, right?
Yeah.
But it's not just if it burns down.
Right.
The personal liability that you could suffer if something happens as a result of an injury or something on your property.
Yeah, that's definitely an overlooked piece to that, right? It's not just I'll just replace my own gutters if I have hail damage or something, right? It's what happens if during that hailstorm there's ice on the, and your neighbor comes over, slip and fall on your porch, and boom, out of work.
So the first person can't afford. Okay, the second person that they profile is someone who is rich enough where they don't care if it burns down, they can rebuild. Like again, okay, well, it doesn't seem like a smart risk reward.
Yeah.
I didn't realize there's a very low probability that you will have your whole house burned down. But I know one of my high school friends, it did burn down in high school. Just terrible. Okay.
Yeah, that, or I've heard multiple people, have an issue with like an internal leak in the house, right?
Oh, yeah.
And a leak in the house will create a ton of damage, right? I've known people, multiple people who have had to move out of their house for, 6 months at a time to have, 3 floors rebuilt because the toilet leaked on vacation for 2 weeks straight. It just poured water down,
Great point. And that's going to be tens and tens of thousands of dollars of a claim, right? Which is easily going to repay your cost.
Yeah, and it's also much more probable, I would think, than having, a tornado rip through your house.
On rentals, I've had a ton of leak problems like that. They've never been tens of thousands, but the pipe from the street, like the sewer pipe or the main water line from the street to the house, if there's a problem, right, you're gonna have to spend a lot of money getting that fixed. And State Farm can be there to cover that.
Right.
If it's sudden and accidental, then it's covered.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the liability. Okay, so you think about auto insurance. Well, if you have a brand new car or a nice car, you want to have full coverage because you have the liability and the collision, right? So if there's an accident, you can have the car fixed for very little out of pocket.
Right.
Okay. But if you have a crappy car, right, like a junker, you still need that liability because let's face it, when you have a 5,000-pound vehicle driving 70 miles an hour, it's a weapon.
Yeah.
Okay. Like you can kill yourself, you can kill other people, dramatically injure, and then you're looking at tremendous liability.
If you're at fault, liability is there.
Yeah. So same thing on the homeowners. You have liability if there's an accident. Okay. So I just think it's crazy that whether you can't afford it, I think maybe you could, and just rearrange your budget. But also, if you have enough money to rebuild, that's pretty short-sighted as well.
Yeah, because if you have that kind of money, the premium can't be unaffordable. You're just being dumb.
Yeah. So I forwarded the article to my State Farm agent, and he said, "These people are crazy." That was his reply. He said, "I read that article as well. These people are crazy." So straight from the
hard to argue. Yeah.
Straight from the agent's mouth. Yeah. All right, so that is episode 197, homeowners insurance. Two people who are skipping out, not a recommendation, right?
No.
Yeah. Before you do that, call us, okay?
Yeah, we can't give a second opinion on that.
Yeah, second opinion, reach out to us at peakwm.com. And remember, if you're listening in the podcast, make sure to also check us out on YouTube and hit that bell.